Boruto and Sarada will change the future, as there are threats that Sasuke warned Boruto about that only they will be able to stop. Seeing that Boruto has now made it back into the village, this duo will finally be allowed to shine and prevent the worst future from actually taking place. This almost seems as Boruto's second prophecy, as after his first one, it seems like Boruto moves on to a different chapter and now has to deal with the second prophecy that Sasuke has given him. Although this prophecy is quite vague, I still believe that it is quite important, and we can already start to gather up the hints and see what exactly Boruto and Sarada will have to face in the future. Boruto dealt perfectly with his first prophecy. The prophecy entailed that Boruto would lose everything. However, Boruto didn't really lose everything, at least from his perspective. He didn't act like a victim, but had a positive perspective, leading to him actually being happy in the time skip and after the omnipotence. One could argue that Boruto hasn't really dealt with this prophecy just yet, as Boruto still continues to lose everything that he might have. But just like we are told when Boruto loses everything in chapter 80, we see that to Boruto, he hasn't lost anything because they are still within them. Just like Naruto once said to Obito that he hasn't lost his friends because his friends are still in his heart, even while seeing that his comrades were dying left, right, and center. To me, I would say that Boruto cleared that first prophecy. However, now he has to move on to the second prophecy, which deals with a greater calamity that is even greater than himself, as I believe that this prophecy doesn't just deal with Boruto, but the entire ninja construct and the planet as a whole. And just like we are seeing over and over again, Boruto and Sarada's fate seem to be connected on some type of way. Boruto was supposed to lose everything. The worst future was supposed to happen to Boruto, where Boruto would end up having to fight Team 10 and later on be killed by Kawaki. However, through Sarada awakening her Mangekyo Sharingan, Sasuke came and prevented that worst future from taking place. Sarada once interrupted Boruto and Kawaki's fight, and Kawaki was going to kill her, but Boruto risked his life, sacrificing his eye to save Sarada. Sarada and Boruto have always been connected. And just because we're on the subject of Boruto and Sarada helping each other out, we have to discuss the powers that they both have. Because it seems like both of them are going to use their dojutsus to potentially change the future. Boruto with the Jogan, also the Star of Hope, we know that he's going to have something to do with the changes that will happen to this planet and how he will try to prevent them from taking place. However, recently especially, seeing how Sarada is a lot more connected to the greater plot and her awakening from Mangekyo Sharingan, I believe that Kishimoto has given us some hints to Sarada being able to impact the main plot, as there's various theories out there about Sarada and her Mangekyo Sharingan possessing some broken abilities that may allow her to affect the future in general. As there is one theory in particular that deals with Sarada preventing the worst future from taking place. Just as I've said, Sarada awakening her Mangekyo Sharingan prevented a lot of bad from happening to Boruto. The one part in Boruto's vision in chapter 75 that we did not see is Kawaki with blood on his face. This could have been Boruto's blood with Boruto who he had slayed, but Sarada awakened her Mangekyo Sharingan and changed that whole entire future. Maybe it is Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan's powers, or maybe it was something that just couldn't be accounted for. As told by Kaguya, do not comprehend love. So the reason why the worst future for Boruto did not take place is either because of two things. Either this is one of Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan abilities, or it is simply because of love. It could go both ways, which interpretation you would like to choose, but it is either that Sarada's love for Boruto allowed her to be the catalyst for change in Boruto's life and him not going down the wrong path and having Sasuke around him, or it is one of Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan that ended up aiding her in changing the future to the way she desired. Whatever the case is, whatever option you go with, it just reinforces and confirms that what Sasuke is saying is true. Boruto and Sarada will have to deal with something in the future that will change the entire world, and only them as a collective could be able to deal and prevent that from taking place, as Sasuke believed that there was a greater threat other than Code and his Kagurams that Boruto would have to deal with. So what exactly are those threats? What exactly is Sasuke talking about? A lot of people believe that Sasuke predicted that he would end up being used. That's why he trained Boruto, and that's why he's doing everything. That is his entire goal, to prevent a clone of himself from actually harming this entire world. This could actually be the case, and I don't think that's the most interesting reason. That would be a little bit one-dimensional. It would be too easy to connect. So I don't think that's the reason. Because from what we are currently seeing, we're seeing that Boruto, Kawaki, and Code have just broken multiple Otsutsuki rules, and everything that the Otsutsukis were trying to stop from happening with the Kagurams and the Ten Tails, Boruto, Kawaki, and Code had all contributed to it actually taking place. Boruto and Kawaki's existence as Otsusukis seem to contradict what the karma is actually supposed to do, as there seems to be a rule that new Otsusukis are not supposed to be created from the karmic resurrection. But this is what literally happened with Boruto and Kawaki. If you check how the karma works, it makes sure that there are not two Otsusukis or two duplicate Otsusukis that are being created. They want that same entity to remain conscious in only one body. But Boruto and Kawaki have now become Otsutsuki. The same thing could be said about Code, who allowed the Ten Tails to evolve, which is the opposite of what is supposed to happen. With the Ten Tails, it is supposed to develop into a chakra fruit and then have an Otsutsuki eat it. But Code caused the Ten Tails to evolve by mixing his chakra with the Ten Tails, creating the Kagurams, and allowing the Kagurams to go around and eat various different people who are not Otsusukis. Just like the karma was made to ensure the replication of one Otsutsuki and not the creation of a new one, the Ten Tails was supposed to help an Otsutsuki evolve, but not be helped to evolve itself. What we are seeing right here is the Boruto planet being filled with hybrid, defective, and various different abominations that the Kagurams and these new Shinshu beings seems to be. A prideful clan like the Otsusukis will definitely not stand for this. And seeing how strong the Ten Tails is, and it literally being stated to be the cause of the creation of this universe, the powers that it may have is on a different level, and it evolving may actually be the worst future, just like Boruto said himself. And since Sasuke has turned into one of these abominations, Boruto and Sarada will definitely have to try and prevent the worst future from taking place. It has already started, and it is already in its beginning stages. But what could really happen from then on is truly the worst future when you really think about it. The powers that they may have, and we don't know just how powerful they seem to be, but we know for sure they are some high tier characters on the same level as Boruto. So if they were to go around and wreak havoc, it would definitely be the worst future. And if other Otsusukis come to find out about what has happened on this planet, you have to look at it this way. Kaguya, Ishiki, Momoshiki, Tonori, Urashiki, all those different Otsusukis have been killed and slayed. And we now have two Otsusukis who were never born as Otsusukis but became Otsusukis through some of the flaws of the karma. And we also have the Ten Tails, who was only supposed to help Otsutsuki evolve, but it evolved itself. There are just too many reasons for a full-on Otsutsuki invasion to take place. This is why you are going to be seeing various theories of the Shinshu actually teaming up with various characters like Hidari. Because if there is someone, especially in that Shinshu group, who may try to leave and eventually backstab the group, it would be Hidari. Not only is he the stronger two of the clones, as one clone is made from Bug, the other clone is made from Moegi, so he's definitely top two, as Sasuke would literally beat Moegi and Bug up even with no arms, so we already know that he is bare minimum top two in that force. So if Hidari ends up backstabbing the group, it could actually be to Konoha's benefit. But one thing is for sure, both Boruto and Sarada share the same goal. And if you pay attention, all the goals that they have been to defy God's instructions. As we know that the gods, using their omnipotence, have been able to create the various things that we have seen in this universe. And Sarada attempting to reverse omnipotence is her trying to defy a god. And Boruto trying to prevent his prophecy from taking place is also an act of trying to defy the gods. And the question will be, can you truly defy the gods? Amado tried to do the same thing, but he failed miserably. But the one thing that he learned is that in order to defy the gods, one must step into the god's domain. And Boruto, Sarada, Amado are all taking the steps necessary to defy the gods, including Kawaki too, obviously. But since we're mainly talking about Boruto and Sarada, we can already just see with those two characters that they are trying to defy the gods through all their actions. So what will end up truly happening? What I believe is that Boruto coming back to the village is the beginning of a new duo between Boruto and Sarada. As there's a possibility that Sarada could leave with Boruto. I have heard this going around, but since she wants to become the Hokage, this might not end up taking place. But at least we know for sure that Boruto and Sarada will team up to face Hidari. We know that Jura will face Kawaki, and we already see the different setups that are going around. But Sasuke isn't the only one that Boruto is trying to save. Because if you check out the official translations for this text right here, you would see that Boruto is not only saying that he's going to save Sasuke and all of the people who have been turned into trees, he says, and then says that he'll come back and tell this to Sarada later. So I think this also that he is talking about, or I don't remember the exact official translation, but you guys are seeing it right now. The person that Boruto is mentioning, or the people that Boruto is mentioning, is also Naruto and Hinata, which Sarada believes that Naruto and Hinata are dead. She doesn't know that they are actually alive, because she got her Mangekyo Sharingan not only through Boruto and the omnipotence and everybody searching through him, but as a reaction of Naruto's death. Naruto, her role model, had died. And that's why I'm always surprised when they say that Sarada getting her Mangekyo Sharingan was kind of lame. Yeah, it wasn't the coolest, but Naruto had died, her role model, as we see in chapter 1 of the Boruto time skip. And this is why I was confused with the hate that the Mangekyo Sharingan gets. But nevertheless, Sarada will find out that Naruto and Hinata are actually alive. And this might anger Sarada because of everything that happened and that Kawaki lied and everything like that. But regardless of the fact, Sarada and Boruto will be trying to save their respected parents. Sarada will be trying to save Sasuke, Boruto will be trying to save Naruto and Hinata, and it's going to be interesting. Maybe if they want to, Sakura gets involved in some sort of way, but there's a lot of way that this could actually end up going that will be beneficial to both characters, both Boruto and Sarada. So they will attempt to change the future, to change the worst future from happening, which is a future where Sasuke remains Hidari, Naruto remains in that sealed verse, and they are eventually defeated by the Shinshu. But Boruto will do everything in his power to make sure that doesn't take place. And this will require him and Sarada to gain astronomically stronger. Because yes, Sarada may be strong now, but against these Shinshu, she will have to show us these different Mangekyo Sharingan abilities that will allow her to contend with those level of opponents. Because with what I've seen right now, Boruto might be the only one capable of fighting them. Maybe Kawaki, but Sarada is not at that level yet. Maybe her Mangekyo Sharingan is crazy. Maybe she trained with Sakura and has that Byakugo seal. We'll find out, but they have to get stronger. But to me, the most important fight, especially for the future of this Shinshu group and the planet as a whole, is a fight between Boruto and Sarada versus Hidari, because that fight could end up giving us some hints on how to bring back Sasuke, and in that fight we will see whether there is a chance of characters like Jura, Hidari to actually team up with the various people that we see in the village. I don't know if it would actually end up taking place, but everything will be revealed to us about how these guys really work in the chapters to come. But to find out everything about them that we know so far, you have to watch this video right here.